This presentation is about the Native American Cherokee Tribe. I'm going to present some basic facts, discuss and show different views concerning the Native Americans' freedom and wealth. The Cherokee tribes are located on the southeast region of America, mostly in Georgia, North and South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. But after the historical event Trail of Tears, which I'm going to come back to later, some of them were forced to move to Oklahoma, so that's where most of them are located today. There are 3 federally recognized Cherokee tribes today: the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians in North Carolina, and the United Ketowa Band in Oklahoma. Although they do have their own Cherokee Indian language, which approximately 20,000 of them speak, most of them speak English today. Their Cherokee language is a very complex one, but with soft sounds. Most of their belief system is centered around their ancestors' fairy tales and legends. They have a lot of sacred things, for example animals, colors, plants, etc., that they believe to be of great significance. These sacred things play a huge role in Cherokee ceremonies. They also believe in supernatural beings, such as ghosts and other spirits. There are many different views concerning if the Native Americans have their freedom and live wealthy today. Many believe that the Native Americans have their freedom because they have reservations where they live to have their own government, their own laws, police enforcement, and services just like their own little country, although they are still U.S. citizens and must obey the American law. Some also believe they are wealthier than many American citizens, as they are entitled to some benefits provided by the government. They also make a lot of money on casinos that they own and run. But on the other hand, discrimination against Native Americans can be viewed as one of the longest held racisms in the U.S. There has been a long series of wars and massacres, such as the commonly known Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears was the Cherokee name for what the Americans called the Indian removal. During the 1800s, the U.S. government created an Indian territory in Oklahoma and sent all the eastern Native American tribes to live there. Some willingly agreed, but some refused to leave their homelands, including the Cherokee tribe. The Cherokee were peaceful allies of the Americans, so they asked the Supreme Court for help. The judges decided they could stay in their homes, but the president, Andrew Jackson, sent the army to march the Cherokee to Oklahoma anyway. The Cherokees have been able to rebuild their society today in Oklahoma, but they are still relegated to the reservations, constituting only of 4% of U.S. territory, and the treaties signed with the reservations have been violated by the U.S. government. Tens of thousands of the Cherokee people were forced to attend a residential school system which sought to re-educate them in white settler American values, culture, and economy. So to this day, Native Americans are looked upon as some of the most harshly affected groups targeted by institutionalized racism. Some of the reservations even remain among the most economically disadvantaged groups in the country and suffer from high levels of alcoholism and suicide. I think the Native Americans, especially the Cherokee tribe, are harmless people who would like to preserve their ancestors' beliefs and ways of life in peace. All they really ask for is to be treated like an equal. It must have been awful being forcefully removed from their homes, so I think it is admirable how they have completely rebuilt their society in Oklahoma. Ultimately, I think their tribal story is one of courage, fortitude, and perseverance. These are the sources that I've used.